also want to note, if you're brand new to this, well, you're going to notice that you don't have a regular USB port on your Mac. You're going to have these ports here, and the other side, you're going to have similar ports anyways. So these ports right here are USB-C. So what you need to buy is an adapter for regular USB. So if you want to plug in anything like a USB stick, this is the adapter. So see this connection right here, it's USB-C. You would plug that into your Mac, and then this is regular USB. So it's best to get something like this, that's a hub, so you can connect various things to it, and something lightweight or so. Now there's better hubs than this one, of course, that have their own power. Those are actually better, but these other ones are just more portable. So this is something that you definitely will want for later on. All right, so first things first, you're gonna go into your system preferences. That's down here. So this is system settings. If you don't see that on the bottom, which you will, you're also gonna see it on the top left-hand side of your screen, Apple logo. Go into system settings, and then from here, just scroll down. You're gonna see almost all the way in the bottom, trackpad. So your trackpad, we don't want to be clicking on our trackpad, and that's because it does wear it out. You can just tap on it just like you tap on your phone or your iPad. So see this option down here below where it says tap to click, just turn that on. Now something else I'm also gonna do, and you might want to, you might not, it's up to you. So at this point, instead of having to actually go on and click on your trackpad, you can tap on it in order to do anything. So let's say I want to close this up, I can just tap on it. To go back to it, my system settings are down here, so I can open that up, and I'm just going to type up here trackpad because I can find my settings that way even faster. And something that I personally like, this is not for everybody, but you can test it out. You can put your tracking speed high. So I'm going to put it up too fast, that way I can move around way faster. So that's the tracking speed that I personally like. You don't have to. And my click at medium, I actually like that, so I'm going to leave it as is. Now your secondary click is your right click. So Macs do have right clicking. And especially right now that we turned on tap to click, you can just use 2 fingers on your trackpad, just tap on it, and you're going to see this. You're going to get options. So that's your right clicking. Now here's something else that's optional, but some of you may want. So again, we're just going to type in zoom this time on the top left-hand side, and this is something that's actually going to help me make this video right now. So click on your first option, which says zoom accessibility, and then your third option is something I like to personally use. So this is to zoom in on things. So right now on my trackpad, if I press my control, so that's this key, it's showing you here, control, on your keyboard, so that's on the bottom left-hand side of your keyboard, you press control, and then with 2 fingers on your trackpad, you can just move them in and out. You're going to be zooming in on things. This is something useful even if you don't make videos. Sometimes you want to zoom in on things, and you can zoom in on anything. It doesn't have to be like a website or something like that, because on a website you just press command plus or minus in order to make it bigger, but this time you can just zoom in on things, which is nice to have. And I personally like to do it that way, using the control key, and again, you're just using 2 fingers on your trackpad, and you're just making that gesture of going up and down on your trackpad. So that would be it for zooming. Let's just close that. Now the next thing that you want to look at, if you scroll down, you will notice it says desktop and dock. Again, if you don't see it right away, just search for it. So right here, so you have more space on your screen, you may want your dock to disappear sometimes and just appear once you go down to it. Plus it's kind of nice for it to magnify a little bit. So I want to show you what I mean by this. So let me just zoom out so you guys can see everything that's going on. And we're going to mess around with the magnification. So we're going to make it and turn it on. It's right now off. We're going to turn it on to like medium. So if I go down here, you're going to notice that things have been magnified a little bit. Let me just make it large so you guys can actually see what this means. So this means if I scroll over them, they're going to magnify. So I can see what I'm going to choose. That's something nice that's built into Mac. And I'm not sure why they don't make it a standard. But here you go. I'm going to set it up just around there. I do like that, maybe a little bit larger. So again, I'm messing around with magnification. I'm just moving this. Okay, so my trackpad, all I'm doing is just pressing down with my thumb, and then I'm just moving this around with my finger. So that's my trackpad. So you can also mess around with the size of your dock. You can just move this around. But for now, we're just going to leave it. The position, I like it to be on the bottom. You guys can change it to be anywhere. Well, almost anywhere. And here it is. This is what I like to do. Automatically hide. Just turn that on. Gonna zoom out so you guys can see. See, it's gone. There's no more dock. To get it back, all you have to do is just scroll over it. So that means you go down here. So again, all I'm doing is going down my screen with my mouse, and then it appears. As soon as I go up, it disappears. If I go down, it appears again. So that's the best way to get the entire screen. And anytime you need an app and you need to open something up, all you have to do is go down with your mouse and it's just gonna appear. And that's also why I like to have this magnify as well. So that's how you can get the most out of your screen. Now, I know I'm going to details kinda right away, but these are things that even experienced Mac users miss out on. But anyways, let's just go back into system settings. I'm going to show you one more thing. Now, something else I want to show you is this. So let's just go back into system settings and then just look for gestures. Same thing. Or trackpad. Click on that option, whichever. It doesn't really matter. And then from here, just choose your third option. It says more gestures. I want you guys to just go over these and take a look at them. And App Expose, just turn it on. Trust me, it's going to be more useful. I would use 3 fingers instead of 4. But you can always change it to 4. Just try them all out and see which one you like more, 3 or 4. But here we go. And if you just scroll over it, it kind of gives you a preview of what this is. And that's all. You don't have to click on your trackpad. You just place your 3 fingers and then just go down. So let me just zoom out. And if I go down, it's going to show me all the apps that I have open at the moment. It's just settings at the moment, so that's why it's only showing me this. I can click on it and here we go. But if you scroll up, in the other hand, if you go up, it's going to show you other options. And I want you to go over and just scroll over each one of these just so they show you what you can do, because the more gestures that you use, the more fun you're going to have with this. So just scroll over them and you're going to see what each one means. The pinching one is something that I used a lot, and show desktop I also use a lot as well. So for example, this one, what it means is basically that you just place technically your entire hand on your trackpad, and then from the center, you just open up your hand on your trackpad. And you're going to see that when I do that, it just gets rid of that window. And then to get that back, all I have to do is just close my hand. So just put it on your trackpad in opening position and then just close it up. You're going to get that back. What I just said to do is basically the same thing that you're doing right now, just by opening, you would just close. So you do it the reverse that what this is telling you in order to get that window back. But just try out all the gestures that you can, because it will make your workflow a lot faster. But anyways, let's just go to the next thing. Under your search, just type in, so this is in system settings, by the way, we're still in there. We're gonna go on and search for hot corners. So this is under accessibility, just tap on it, hot corners, your second option. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing. And here we go. You don't need to set these up, but I'm going to give you those options as well, because Mac can do so much. Now, these hard corners are very useful depending on your workflow. So you can test some of these out. So right now I'm going to show you something about your battery. So on the top right hand corner of your screen, you're going to see your battery. That's beside your Wi-Fi. Just tap on it and you're going to go into battery settings. Under your battery settings, you see this, low power mode. You can set this up to be always on, only on battery, or only on power adapter. Power adapter, it wouldn't make sense, but you could set that up, sure. But if you guys have an iPhone or iPad, it kind of works the same way, low power mode. So you might want to put this on when you're on battery. So that way you know that your battery is just going to last a little bit longer than when low power mode is off. So I'd never. So this is something to consider turning on, especially if you're on the road a lot. Other than that, those are the tips that even experienced users do not know. However, let's move on to the real basics. So down here, you're going to see Finder. So let's just open up Finder. Once we open it up, you're going to see this. Let me just expand it out a little bit more. You're going to see your favorites. You can add stuff to your favorites, by the way. You can view more stuff there. But before I keep going with anything else, your view, how you view things. Let me just go into my documents, which is this option here. And in your documents, you don't need to view them like that. You can view them like this. So if I change it to show items like so, it's going to show like this, which is better for me. I'm more of a visual person, so I don't want to view it this small. Although for some people, they like it because you can see the size, you can see a lot of information about it. And here, you're just going to view it like that. However, for me personally, this looks a lot better. But Up here, you can try out a few other views as well. But anyways, Finder is where you would go for almost anything, your documents, everything that you want to drop. If you want to find your downloads folder, almost anything here for inside your Mac, you would go here. So any folders, that means. So right now we're done with Finder. Just go into settings. In your settings, you're going to see tags. And you're also going to see sidebar. So this is your sidebar in your Finder. Most of you may want to view your movies there. Music, you can put a check mark there. Pictures, or your home folder. This is the big one. A lot of people are missing this, and this is actually really important to have. Don't know why it's not default, but you should turn that on. I'm going to show you what that means. Also, you can go into locations and turn this on, but I wouldn't. For that, I'll just get a little confusing. So we're just going to close this up at this point. And what we just did was add this into our favorites. So we can see that in our sidebar. So if I click on it, I can see everything that's in my Mac. So I can go into my desktop, documents, downloads, movies, music, pictures, public. So all my main folders are right here. So that's my home. And just in case if you want to move these things around, so if I want this to be up here, all I have to do is click on it and then drag it to what position I want. So I can leave it here. I can make it go in the middle. I can move it here. But again, all I'm doing is just clicking on it and then just dragging it to wherever I want. So that's how you guys can move that around as well and reorganize it. So that's a really good introduction to Finder. Now let's move down here. You're going to see Safari. So this is your web browser. From here, you can just type in google.com, for example. And here you go. You can go on and search for anything you want. You can even download Google Chrome if that's something that you like, but I would recommend just using Safari. Now, in order to fully close any applications, you never want to just tap here on the red. I know that you might think you're closing it, but it's actually running the background if you just do that, pretty much minimizing it. So what you want to do is press Command Q on your keyboard in order to fully close this, or you can go into the app settings right here. It's not really the settings, but the options, and just put in Quit Safari. But that's usually too much of a hassle, so just press Command Q, just like it shows you here as well. So to fully close any program for that matter, again, just press Command Q and it's fully closed. Now remember that this video is for beginners, but also some really good tips for advanced users. Anyways, let's just move on down here below. You're going to see your dock. Now under your dock, you might not want all this stuff here because you will not be using half of this. I'm just going to go through some of the basics down here and just show you what each one is. So down here below, you're going to see any apps that you have opened recently. You're also going to see your downloads here, most likely. You're going to see your system settings that we went over already. App Store, that's where you're going to download stuff. We're going to go over that in a second. Pages, this is the comparable to Microsoft Word. This would be like Excel. This would be like PowerPoint. Right here, your news, just tap on it and check it out what it is. But this is where you read the news. It's just an app. Music, this is where you can download music and play music as well. Apple TV, this is the app. So it's different than Apple TV Plus, which is a channel. On the Apple TV app, you can explore many channels and see which one you like. And this is also where you guys can purchase movies and keep them in your account. Freeform, we were going to go over later on. Notes, again, just keep notes there. Reminders, you can set up any reminders, contacts. You have your calendar there. FaceTime, this is if you want to make any FaceTime calls. If you have an iPhone or iPad, you've done those before. But if you haven't, this will just be using your email in order to make any FaceTime calls to anybody that you would like. It would be using your camera from your computer, by the way. Photos, this is where you're going to import and export any pictures onto your Mac. You can also keep your pictures in documents folder, for example, but most people are using Photos now because it has improved so much. Now your Maps is kind of like Google Maps, however, these are made by Apple. Your mail, you can set this up just by adding any email. So you can add your Hotmail, your Gmail, you can add multiple into just this one app. So you can just go on and take a look at everything all in just one app. Messages, same deal. If you don't have an iPhone, for example, you wouldn't have iMessage before. And you wouldn't be getting any text messages in here. Again, if you don't have an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you could get text messages here, but iMessage is different. That's why it's called messages, because you can be getting both. And iMessage is just digital. So you can use that in order to send messages to other people that have Apple products, not just a Mac. They could have an iPhone, iPad. You could do that without having an iPhone. But again, if you have an iPhone, this would be the exact same app that you have on your phone. Safari, like I said, that's your web browser. Launchpad, this is something that you might not even want to have here, but it could be useful. It's just to view all your applications that you have in your Mac. Quick look at them. So now that we went over your dock right here, you're going to want to know how to take these out. So we're going to delete these from here. We're not going to delete the actual apps. We're just going to take them out from the dock, because your dock might get too much stuff in there that you're not going to use. Because anything that you have down here, it's just for your quick access. Because at the end of the day, to access any of these, you can just go into Finder, and under Finder, you can just go into Applications, which is your third option, and you're going to see all your apps. So even apps that are not in there. So again, any programs that you don't see on your dock down here below would be under your Applications folder. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And for example, Contacts, I don't need quick access to this. All you have to do in order to get this out of here is drag it out. So click on it and drag it out into your desktop. It's going to say remove. Let go of it, and it's gone. Did you just delete that app? No, it's just out of here. So it's not in your way. Same thing I'm going to do with Calendar. I'm going to do the same thing with Freeform, for example. Apple TV, I don't need quick access to that. I don't need quick access to this. I don't need quick access to this. Don't need quick access to this. There's a lot of stuff that I don't need quick access to, and it's going to make everything look so much cleaner and so much better. Same thing with Maps. I don't need quick access to that. Everything else I kind of do need quick access to, because I do check them out a lot. FaceTime, I don't need quick access, barely use that. And there you go. If you would like to add anything in here, on the other hand, all you have to do, for example, is go into Finder. Once we're in Finder, just tap on your third option. It's going to say Applications, and I can drag any application into there to have quick access to it. So for example, if I want quick access to my time machine, I can just drag that over down here, just place it anywhere, and there we go. I have quick access to that. Or I can bring anything that was there before, such as FaceTime. I want to move that back in here. I can move it back just by dragging it into this space. So that's how you guys can add anything into your dock or take it away. Anyways, right now I'm going to take those away. But before I keep going, I do want to highlight that Time Machine is something that's under system settings. And Time Machine is something that you want to set up if you have an external hard drive. So if you want to keep a backup of your Mac, make sure to set up Time Machine. It's really good. It's pre-built into every single Mac, and it helps you transfer stuff from one Mac to another if you want to upgrade later on. Plus, it's a great backup. I do have a separate video that shows you everything about Time Machine and how to set that up, so make sure to check that out. Now, something else that you're going to want to know is how to create folders and so on. So technically, in order to keep everything clean, you want to open up Safari and create folders in there. So whether that's in your documents or downloads or anywhere else, all you guys have to do is right click and you can create a folder. And there you go. You can title it anything you want. Click anywhere out, just press enter, whichever. I can create another folder. I can just leave it as is just by pressing enter. Just gonna leave it. Just click out of it, and there you go. To rename a folder at any point in time, all I have to do is just click on it, press return key right here on your keyboard, and then just use your arrows. You can go back and forth on it and then just change the name to whatever you like. So I'm gonna delete this. Just pressing delete on my keyboard, and I can just put tech and design, for example, YouTube channel. Click out of it, and there you go. Just change the name. To delete anything, so if you want to delete any folders or any documents, movies, pictures, anything really from your Mac, all you have to do is just click on it. Then you're going to press Command Delete. That's on your keyboard, and it's been deleted. After you delete it, it does go down to your trash bin down here below. Just right click on your trash bin and empty it out. That's the quickest way to fully delete it. You're going to see this, and then from here, just press on empty trash. So you're done. Now let's say you're having problems deleting anything. Well, just make sure you're admin user, which you are most likely. And in this case, we're going to right click here. We're going to go into get info, and then under get info, you're going to see down here below, it's going to say sharing and permission. Just open that up. You're going to see if you have permission to read and write. Just make sure you have permission to read and write. You can unlock this obviously with using your password, but for most of you, you're good to go. You can change all of this to read and write. read and write. Because if you couldn't delete it, most likely it was just on read only. So maybe that was getting your way. You can just put read and write, close this up, and then you can just delete it. In order to delete this, another way would be to right click on it. If you right click on it, you can just select your second option where it says move to trash, and there you go. And then just empty it from your trash, like I said. Now to empty it from your trash bin, there's another way. You can double click on this to open it up, or just tap on it once, and then you're going to see the option to empty it out right here on the top right hand corner. You're going to get this option as well, and you're done. So that's how you can delete any files right here on your Mac. If you want to delete any programs, then you could do it the exact same way, or download an app that's called App Delete. That's what I use, but you don't need it. You can just delete it from here, just like I deleted all those folders. If you're downloading an app right here that's not from the App Store on your Mac, all you have to do, for example, I'm downloading this one right now. Obviously, click on Allow. It's going to go directly to your Downloads folder. And in this case, it's right here. So let me just go on and open it up just by clicking on it. It's going to say Open, yep. And then you're going to see this installation. Just follow the installation right through, install, and it's going to download it. It's basically going to download the app and move it into your Applications folder. And that's how you do this. So right now, just by following that, it's already installed. With a DMG file, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. And I can check out any applications just by going to Finder. I'm going to open that up. Then under Favorites, your third option will say Applications. Right here, you're going to see your apps, which includes the one that I just installed right now. So at this point, you have all your basics for your Mac, but you want to highlight one more thing. If you click on the top where it says your time or date, you're going to see all of this. So you're going to get any notifications. You're also going to get a lot of information that you may want, may not want. These are your widgets. And I'm not going to show you too much into this. There's other videos that go really deep into widgets. But I just want to highlight that you can edit these. You can have less or more. But from what I've seen, not that many people even use these widgets. To get them out of the way, just click on your desktop anywhere, and they're going to go away. As well as if you want quick access to any of your main settings, on the top right hand corner, again, just click here on this option. So you're going to see that you've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, AirDrop. These are your main things. Your display, if you want it brighter, less bright. You want your audio to go up or down. You can always mess around with these on your keyboard, yes, but if you don't want to, you can mess around with them here. Focus is also good, so you're not bothered with notifications all over the place. So you can check that out. And obviously we have music down here because a lot of people listen to music while they work. Get out of this, just click away anywhere on your desktop. And last but not least, let's set up your email. So down here below, you're going to see mail. Just tap on it. You're going to see this if it's setting up for the first time. Then it's going to show you your inbox. This will only be for your iCloud email. However, you can set up any email in here in this app. So you can add your Gmail, Hotmail, any email that you want, you can add it on here. And in order to do that, you just go on the top left-hand side of your screen. You're going to see mail. Just tap on mail. And here, you're going to see this, accounts and settings. What you want to do is going to add account, which is your third option. Well, technically fourth option down here below. You're just going to add your account, and from there you're going to see all these options. So like I mentioned before, it depends what type of email you've got. If your email doesn't match any of these, just go into other mail account. But just to show you an example, I'm going to add in a Gmail account. So that means it's a Google account. Press continue, and then from here just type in your email. It's going to ask you for your password. And then just go next, 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 and you've added everything onto it. So like I said, you would just press next. And yes, if you got any security in your Gmail, most likely you got a notification on your phone or your tablet. You just have to open up that YouTube app and you would just verify there if you're doing this with Google. Now you can also add your Gmail into your contacts. So you're just adding your contacts into here, this app, calendar. You can sync up your notes. You can sync up anything from Google, really. And I suggest just clicking on everything. You don't have to. This is just for mail. But anyways, let's just tap on done. And at this point on your left hand side, you should see after just a little bit, just wait for it. It's going to load up everything for you. And everything does keep loading for me right now. It's refreshing. I'm going to see Google. So that's my other mail account. So on the top of your mail, you're going to see all these options. You're going to see all inboxes. You're going to see your iCloud or Google. So you can tap on each one of them or just tap on all inboxes. You're going to get everything all in one so you can view all of them. And you can keep adding more and more emails that you have from other servers such as Hotmail, for example, into this one app. So that's it for your mail account. I'm just going to close this up for now. And like I mentioned before, you can download apps, programs from Safari. So because not all of them are in the App Store, but if you do want to download something from the App Store, this is how you do it. So just open up your App Store. And from here, we're just going to continue on. And I'm going to give you an example. So you can enable notifications or not with the App Store. What I would do is just not. I just get way too many notifications. And then from here, you're just going to search for the app that you want. So we're just going to search for Final Cut Pro, for example. And let's say I didn't buy Final Cut Pro yet. Then what I would see on that specific app would be a price. Obviously, it's not $2.99. This is just another app. This is just to give you an example. Right now, since I bought this before, I'm going to see this. So all I have to do is just download it. And there we go. I'm downloading the very first app into this Mac. Now, if I want to download any other apps, such as, let's say, compressor, I can just search up for it. Again, something I bought before. I'm gonna go on and download it. Do want to mention that there's a bunch of free apps right here on your app store. But as soon as the app gets downloaded, you're gonna see this. Open. You can also find any apps that you may have downloaded in Finder. Once you open up Finder, you're gonna see applications. Click on that, and then you're gonna see the apps here. So I can see Final Cut Pro is still downloading. However, compressor fully downloaded, so it's right here. And that's how to find any apps that you have downloaded into your Mac and are fully installed. As soon as they download, they pretty much install by themselves. That's if you're downloading them from the App Store. However, if you're downloading them from Safari for a specific website, then that's a little bit different because it's going to give you a DMG file. Just click on it, just follow, just click next, 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 basically. And what usually happens during this process is that whichever app you download, it's going to be added into your applications folder. It just moves it onto there, and that's it. That's how you guys can do that. So that's how to download apps right here on your Mac. Other than that, that's it. I showed you all the basics that you need to know for your Mac just to get you started. If you want more specifics, I do have a ton of more videos with tutorials, but that would be it for this one. Go on and have fun with your Mac. If you have any questions, comments, you guys can write down here in the comments area. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.